My thing is actual solutions. What are the best case, worst case scenario? How do we deal with it?
Unless you are the cosmic silver surfer. 50-foot, 75-foot, 100-foot waves crashing on shore is a mighty scary sight. The Weird Weather Watch keeps on getting weirder. These are telephone poles. And this is a giant freaking wave.
Stay cool.
This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents...
Typhoon Meji made landfall at around 1:30 p.m. south of the capital of Taipei. Now, Meji is the fourth typhoon to hit Taiwan so far this season and the strongest yet. It brought winds at 130 miles an hour.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one of the cool things that I do here at Thor News is often when I find out about an article, I read it with you. I record it as I read it. So while trying to cover the many stories of today, now that I have my feet back under me and a place to actually put them, meaning a tiny bit of stability in my life, on the Twitter, I saw The Hill talk about Weather Channel strikes back at Brietbart. I was like, what? Okay. It's by Joe Concha. Today, December 6th, 3:45 p.m. And 1,909 people have shared this. And I enjoy the work of all the people at Weather Channel and AccuWeather. I wish more resources were put into weather because it's something that affects everybody. And it's best not to politicize the weather. All right. So there we have Kate. We got Kate giving the stern, angry, serious kindergarten teacher look. Or college professor, however you want to, whatever it, okay? Whatever. The Weather Channel is hitting back at Brietbart News after the conservative website featured one of the meteorological outlets' videos in an article claiming that climate change is a hoax. Okay, first of all, this is what's so ridiculous about it all. It's how it's all set up. They named it climate change. So if you say that, no, I think that climate change is a hoax, it makes you look like a fool because we all know the climate changes. And weather is like weather that's happening now. And climate is weather over long-term periods and the trends that it brings. So Brietbart, I guess, claimed climate change is a hoax. And so the Weather Channel said, don't use our data to say that it's a hoax. I know I haven't read the article. My whole point at Thor News is, look, man, I think the weather and the climate and Earth's atmosphere are extremely complex, dynamic processes that we have barely even begun to understand. I mean, we don't fully understand the sun. We don't fully understand the Earth, its core, how everything works. And that ultimately, we know that the weather has been wild, wacky, and weird. So we need to deal with the ramifications of what is coming down the pipe, and possibly really fast, together as a team instead of arguing about what did or didn't cause it. It's like if your house is on fire, maybe wait and get everybody out of the house and the pictures of you and your grandparents that you always wanted to save out before you start arguing who caused the fire. Unless the person that caused the fire is standing there with a machine gun, then just run. You know? I don't know. It's all very confusing. It's like everything's set up to get us to argue, whereas we should be uniting as one Earth people. And realizing that, like when it was 85 degrees in Texas today, in December 6th, that is really weird. Yes, a lot of the ice in the Arctic and Antarctic is melting at super scary rates. So I still stand by my thing that we will see major cities underwater in the near future, anywhere from months from now to 10 years, 5 years. And it seems like the only solution we're being given by science and government is a carbon tax, which I don't see that as a solution. And it's like, you tax cigarettes, right? That didn't stop people from smoking. Doesn't even really cut down on people smoking if you look at stats, really. It's like, the theory is if you make it more expensive or you got to pay for your usage, then corporations and big energy companies won't use as much carbon, right? But college gets more expensive every year and enrollment numbers go up every year. College has subsidiaries just like oil companies do. So we should be finding things we can agree on, like the weather is wild, the sun's acting weird, and that ocean levels will rise. And the equatorial bulge, if it's getting bulgier, when it unbulges, could cause severe problems. So A, prepare to get people off the coasts if they want to leave. If they don't, at least give them a choice. And then B, where was B? We can start off with things where we all agree that we can treat Mother Nature much better than treating her like a prostitute/tampon, or just use her and throw her away. Like if we had major movements to plant 1 billion trees, who couldn't get behind that? Or to save the bees, man. Einstein said, when the bees go, we're goners. I believe that. But the butterflies, like by 2020, we have lost 66% of all species on planet Earth. And that is so sad. I love animals and animals love me. And I think we can all agree, scientists and Christians alike, we can all agree that we can be better stewards of Mother Earth, take care of the planet that gives us life, air, trees, love, sunshine, clouds, you know. We can do a better job. We don't have to get bogged down in arguing with all the bullshit details, especially the main thing like, okay, climate change is real, carbon tax can fix it. That's just foobar on every single level. And whereas the Weather Channel will talk about climate change, and scientists talk about climate change, nobody talks about how good of a solution carbon tax is. Because I'm guessing it's really not that great of a solution. I'm not saying no, because I don't want to die. But I'm just saying everything could be handled a lot better these days. So yeah, the Weather Channel was like, no, I guess Brietbart, you were wrong. We were right. In Tuesday's video post, the Weather Channel's Kate Parker slammed Brietbart for cherry-picking information about global temperature changes. They used a completely unrelated point about La Nina with my face in it to attempt to back their point, said Parker, who also works for ABC News. I think sometimes every group can be accused, and rightly so, of cherry-picking the data. Like when I do the solar sun stuff, people are like, hey, solar maximum, minimum, it's like kind of normal, double peak, whatever. I'm like, you're not using very good metrics. Your metrics are like oversimplified and gross. They're like for kindergartners. It's the details and cherry picking. And that there is $1 trillion machine behind carbon tax. And I'm just like a $10 machine trying to get people to unify as a planet, to prepare to meet all the challenges and problems that meet us all as a human family here on Earth in 2016, because the world's not going to save itself. And that God, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, never told me or anybody I know to just give up and wait for Jesus. So we are our brother's keeper. We are all one giant Earth tribe, and it's time to start acting like it. Dear Brietbart, Earth is not cooling. Yeah, the temperatures have been alarming. Like Texas has just been hot, 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 hot. I didn't think we had a fall. We had winter for like a day, and it's like 85 degrees today. Earth is not cooling. Climate change is real. Please stop using my face to mislead Americans. I'd rather talk about actual science and leave my appearance out of the conversation. Weather Channel also wrote a point-by-point retort directed at Brietbart, including claim global land temperatures have plummeted by 1 degree Celsius since the middle of this year, the biggest and steepest fall on record. Truth. The number comes from one satellite-based estimate of temperatures above land areas in low atmosphere. Data from other two groups that regularly publish satellite-based temperature estimates show smaller drops, more typical of the decline one would expect after a strong El Nino event. Temperatures over land give an incomplete picture of global scale temperature. Most of the planet, about 70%, is covered by water, and the land surface warms and cools more quickly than the ocean. Land plus ocean data from the other two satellite groups, released after the Brietbart article, show that the Earth's lower atmosphere is actually set at a record high in November 2016. The stuff I can observe and verify, the weather's weird, seen strange shit in the sky, and it's definitely been hotter longer into the fall and winter. I'm sweating in the middle of December. That's crazy. Global temperatures plunge. Icy silence from climate alarmists, said Brietbart. Bernie Sanders, where'd you get your PhD? Trump University? Zing. Well, the divide and conquer gang is out in full force, arguing about what may or may not be causing it, or the definition of the semantics of this or that, and that. Watching the sun. Watching means sea level pressure, the jet stream, everything's foobar, man. I don't know what's causing it, but we need to prioritize what can and will happen and figure out how to deal with it together as one group. And ain't nobody agreeing on nothing these days. It makes me very sad, but I can't give up, you know? I don't know. I think my generation, Generation X, has never really had a chance to take the stage and pick up the microphone and say, okay, here's how we're going to do it. So I'm doing my best to harmlessly spearhead that to where we come together. Like, we're all fighting over wars that started before we were born, over agendas that happened before we were born. It's time to realize we're all in this together, seriously. And that God said, love your neighbor as your brother, love God above all else, and love your neighbor as your brother. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And now is the perfect time for us all to calm down, settle down, come to the table, figure out what the heck is going on and what we can do to fix it. And I don't necessarily think just handing government a bunch of tax money is going to fix it. I mean, I don't remember it ever fixing anything before. Anyway, overall, okay, you guys, the Weather Channel should watch some of my solar stuff because it's good. And I stick to my own personal belief. All the changes are from a super complicated process dynamic that we're still figuring out. So we should prioritize things. Did I say all this well? Did I mention I just got sick? I never even got to the point where CIA was like, oh, by the way, countries may use weather warfare against each other to further their goals of world domination or conquering or tearing down superpowers or whatever. That's real. It happened. The CIA said it to us, warned us, okay? So you got to put that on the table too. You know, we know that weather modification has been around since at least Vietnam, possibly sooner. So there's so many factors. None of it's going to matter until we can figure out how to get along and not hate each other. You know, please. I don't know what to say. Anyway, yeah, 1 month out of the whole year, I'm like, hey, help me compete with the Weather Channel, Friendly, Brietbart News, NBC, ABC, Fox, everybody, all by myself as a one-man show to bring you my perspective. Got a fundraiser, go to my Indiegogo, pick up badass t-shirts, or perks, or you go to my PayPal page at the top of my Thor News YouTube channel for instant donations and keep me up and running. And I got a feeling it'll be harder to do. YouTube may just be branded as complete fake news if you try and talk about the news. Anyway, so support me if you can. If you can't, understand. If you don't want to, hey, that's your choice as well. I'm going to do my best with what I can. Anyway, God bless everyone. I appreciate you, Kate. Really, I do. Okay, peace out. God bless everyone. My thing is actual solutions. What are the best case, worst case scenario? How do we deal with it? You know.
While the ice cap just keeps melting, while the head is in your lap, the excess gets you off and you don't care that it keeps getting. So your car accelerates, your convenience lies at the root of all your suffering. Will you ever hit the brakes? Will you realize that this will destroy you utterly? This excess gets you off and you don't care that it keeps getting hot.
Stay cool. This is a Thor News presentation.